Okay, so welcome to our first masterclass for the VIP Access membership. It's really exciting to have Lianne Wright with us from the VA Runway. Lianne came onto our podcast and I've been following her on social media, and she just blows me away with everything that she's achieved and all of the things that she's overcome, and this amazing vision of creating an ecosystem of recurring revenue, which I just thought was like a stroke of genius when I first heard her talk about this. And it was really funny actually, because when I heard you say that, I thought, well, I should be creating, an ecosystem of recurring revenue, and then didn't realize that actually I did have other things that were
Yeah,
kind of plugged in, but I didn't
generating.
realize that. So I think that this masterclass is going to be super valuable to everybody that's going to be watching it on the replay, because it's going to really help them think about other ways to bring in more revenue. Because I keep saying, banging this drum, it's just impossible to do it as a solo VO.
Yeah.
And you've created a really successful business with what you've done, haven't you, Leanne? So I'm going to hand over to Leanne and let her present her amazing masterclass, and you can introduce yourself.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Yes, so thank you for having me. Thank you for the opportunity. This is my first ever masterclass that I have put together, and I have loved pouring my heart and soul into this. So hopefully people enjoy and take some value, obviously, away from this. So yeah, this is my masterclass about how I went from being a virtual assistant to a visionary CEO. It's all about building life first business for me. And I believe that comes from multiple income streams. And as a single mom of three, it's about keeping that balance, kind of leaving the 9 to 5 because you want to get that balance right, but then realizing actually business is really, really hard. So yeah, this is my masterclass. I hope you enjoy it. So let's dig in. So who the F am I? So that's me and my three beautiful children that are my why, my reason. And yeah, without them, I don't know where I would be. As Lisa said, kind of overcome a lot of challenges, and we've been through a really tough time as a family. And yeah, I think you have to constantly remind yourself why you're doing this, don't you, on those harder days. So I just want to kick off by saying that I did not come from money. I left the 9 to 5 because I was sick of asking for permission to be a parent. That's the reality. I started building a limited company from zero as a single mom of three during COVID. I had a newborn baby and I was homeschooling my other two children. And for some reason, I thought that was the right time to, to give this a go. I didn't have a business plan. I had kids, bills, and a deep desire to break free from the time money trap. And that was it. But I built something that I became a slave to with no boundaries. I was working more than ever. And this wasn't what success looked like for me. Although it looked good on paper and to everybody else, behind the scenes, I was so burnt out. I wanted to be a virtual assistant because of the freedom, because of the flexibility. And, it was great at first. Best decision I ever made. Loved it. But it quickly became a cycle. No clients, no work, no money. The kids are poorly. Well, I've got to tell my client that I'm not available to work today. Therefore, I can't invoice for my time. Therefore, income's affected again. If you're having a bad day, if you're burnt out, too bad. The phone keeps ringing, the emails keep pinging. And if you take your eye off the ball, well, there's another VA out there waiting to swoop up your client. And that is when I realized that I needed more than income. I needed breathing room. I needed residual income. Bottom line, I needed an exit strategy. Now, here comes the wake up call, the realization that hourly rates is a hustle trap because you can't scale freedom if you are always the product. I remember working late nights after bedtime. I would be juggling client deadlines and thinking, is this it? I got tired of raising invoices, chasing invoices. I was worrying about cash flow because when I took on associates, well, they need paying. So even if my client hasn't paid me, I've still got to pay my associates. I was tired of feeling like my value wasn't appreciated. I was tired of feeling like what I could earn was tied to how many hours I could work. And then it hit me. If I don't build something that pays me when I'm not working, then I'm going to be stuck forever, just like everybody else. The pivot, realizing that if I start building income that doesn't need me 24/7, things are going to start looking differently. I started by looking for ways to cut back. My goal in the beginning was to reduce my expenses so that I could say no to some things, so that I could take the pressure off. So some people think, well, you just kind of, draw a line under that and moved up. Well, no, because I couldn't give up my income overnight. But I thought the smartest way to do this is start cutting back, reducing my expenses, taking the pressure off myself so I don't need to say yes to everything. And then I can get the headspace and the breathing space to think about what this pivot looks like. And that is when I found UW. For those of you listening that haven't heard of UW, it's Utility Warehouse. Utility Warehouse are a utility provider that help you to bundle your multiple household bills into one convenient payment. And in doing so, they also help you save quite a considerable amount of money. So what I did first was I actually saved money on my bills. And when I realized that I could earn money by helping others to do the same, that was the light bulb moment for me. Was it perfect? No. Was it scalable? Yes. Because I plugged into an existing and thriving business with an amazing compensation plan that was giving me ways to earn residual income by helping people. Now, I started as a virtual assistant because I love helping people. Helping people is actually what helped me through COVID and some very difficult and challenging times in my life. So it was perfectly aligned with what a VA's purpose is. As a VA, we assist, we support. I was already speaking to lots of people, i.e., clients. I was going to networking events. And now I had a tool in my kit where I can help other UK families to save money on their bills when we're all feeling the pinch one way or another. So the truth is, I actually stopped asking, how can I get more clients? And I started asking, how can I make money whilst living my life? And then comes the ecosystem. Now, my income streams today, as it says there, range from digital products to affiliates to masterclasses, like this one that I'm kicking off today, to mentorship, passive offers, things that, not every business allows you to kind of, make money passively, but there are businesses out there. And when you create an ecosystem that makes sense, which we'll move on to. So I don't rely on one income stream. In my opinion, I don't believe it is truly safe to. COVID taught us that. Now, as a VA, COVID was great, but for many, it wasn't. And I want to start a very interesting conversation or raise an interesting topic, should I say. Look at how much AI has advanced. You can now pay a monthly subscription of around £20 a month, and you can have your own programmed AI agents that will take care of every part of your business. I'm talking social media, from content to post. I'm talking business development, customer support, strategy. I could honestly go on and on. If you don't believe me, check out Sintra AI, Sintra, Sintra AI. Now, I don't believe that AI will replace humans. I don't believe that, but I do believe it will enhance our productivity. That's the point of it, but it will be to the point where, as a VA, your job will be to use AI to do your job faster and charge less, because so many business owners know that AI is there, but they don't know how to use it or where to start. And I think VAs will need to get really good at using AI and will be charging less for their time, because everybody knows AI can do it now. But as a VA, you need to become the conductor. So this is why I've built an ecosystem that holds me. that pays me while I'm on the school run or having a day off and keeps my risk spread out so that all of my eggs aren't in one basket. Now, you don't need to be an expert to start, just like when I started as a VA, just when anybody starts a business, you just need courage, consistency, and a plan. Now, I'm going to show you the exact ecosystem that I have created, what that looks like, and why having a clear plan for multiple income streams is the real game changer. So let me introduce you to my aligned income streams, all connected, all intentional, all built around my lifestyle and my values. Now, UW, I've already mentioned to you. So UW is all about helping people save money and make money by doing what we're already doing, paying those dreaded bills. Who wants to pay more when they could pay less and have more money back in their pocket? But here's where it gets really clever. So when people save money, what do they typically want to do? When you ask people, oh, if you had more money in your pocket every month, what would you do? They're probably going to say go on holiday. So then I introduce you to the VA Runway, which is my lifestyle travel brand. When they're saving money on their bills, they want to treat themselves. And most of the time, that means booking a holiday. And guess what? I've got them covered because the VA Runway is my travel business where I help people to get away and take well-deserved breaks, guilt-free and stress-free, because I handle all of the details. As a VA, thinking about plugging this into another income stream, well, you're going to get paid for booking travel. You're going to get agent-only deals. You're going to get access to things that the general public can't. Now, as a VA, I was approached by clients to book flights. I had a couple of business coaches that I worked with that traveled all over the world doing courses, conferences, and different events. And so I was often asked to plan itineraries and book travel. And I've now found a way as a VA to monetize very lucratively as well, booking travel. And I get the extra benefit of being able to travel smarter myself. So you can already see where the alignment worked both ways, because when people come to me for travel and they're, stressed about the cost, or they start talking about having to save and plan, well, guess what? I can point them back to UW and I can say, did you know I can also help you to save some money on your household bills? I could probably shave hundreds of pounds off your bills at the moment, which you can start putting straight away to your holiday. So, it's pretty clever, isn't it, when you start to break it down? And that's what I mean by building a connected ecosystem. Not only that, but my travel business means that I can get paid for my own travel as well. So I can book for friends, for family, for clients. I get extra perks by being part of both of these businesses. UW put on fantastic events. Both businesses come with systems, training, support, community. So for me, it's all about plugging into existing frameworks and kind of saving myself all the scalability challenges and all the different things that come with running a business. Plug into successful systems that are already there. And I'll move on now to the Boss Bitch Bots. Now, let me tell you, this is passive AI powered income. So it's a one-off purchase that I paid for, and it is honestly the best money I ever spent, because these Boss Bitch Bots are literally helping me run my life, from my social media to shopping lists to giving me genuinely, I get content, I get audits of my socials, I get daily mindset boosts, I can have fitness and meal plans if I want them. It is literally like having a digital PA to organize your chaos. So it's like plugging ChatGPT into something on steroids. They are incredible. And believe it or not, one of my I always trip over those words. One of my Boss Bitch Bots also gives me daily tarot readings. If I need a little bit of guidance, I can pull on one of the bots, and crazily on point and scarily close to the truth. It's quite crazy. But I simply share my affiliate link. I've purchased them. I use them every day for one task or another. I use one of my Boss Bitch Bots. So I live and breathe them. They have truly transformed my productivity. And simply by sharing my affiliate link, when somebody else purchases those bots, I earn a passive income. I can get a notification that I've earned money when I wake up in the morning because somebody somewhere else in the world has clicked on my link and purchased my bots. And passive income is where it starts getting, really exciting. Now, AI is no longer the future. This is it. It's now. And it is the secret weapon that is letting me and you work less, earn more, and stay ahead. So I highly recommend finding a way to create a passive income and getting ahead of the curve. Um, and talking about passive income, the final one is digital products, creating a digital download, using my experience, my journey, my story, and turning it into something that is truly valuable and helpful to others. So my digital download is Healing While Hustling. I created Healing While Hustling, and it's all about raw, real healing journey of pushing through fibromyalgia as a single mom, trying to grow a business. You know, it's about empowering other people on a similar journey. It's a guide designed for moms with fibromyalgia, trauma, but they've still got big dreams. So this isn't just a product, it's a piece of my heart. In reality, it speaks to the women like me who are building businesses while navigating pain, grief, and everything else that life throws at us. And again, it's passive. So once it's made, it sells again and again and again. Not only that, but built into my digital download is another affiliate link. And it's an incredible, innovative wellness company that a friend of mine told me about when I got my fibromyalgia diagnosis, that design products to support health and vitality through non-invasive methods. So their flagship product is a wearable adhesive patch. It's infused with natural ingredients and advanced technology, and it's aimed at promoting overall health and well-being. So it is completely drug-free. These patches can help with stress, detoxification, pain management, which is actually why, as I say, I was first introduced to them when looking for ways to manage my fibromyalgia. But again, you can see the alignment coming through. There is not one thing in this ecosystem that I am not living and breathing and truly passionate about. And when people download the digital guide and they get talking to me, I can then tell them about other ways that I can help them to travel smarter, to save money on their bills. If they've got a business, I can show them how Boss Bitch Bots has absolutely made me a powerhouse, in terms of productivity. So you need to, the key takeaway here is you don't just need to build random income streams. I believe passion, is what fuels the fire for longer. You can plug into a business, you can think, oh, this is great, I can make this money. But if you don't truly believe it, live it, breathe it, you'll end up thinking, oh, it's just another thing to think about, it's just another thing to do, and I just can't be bothered. You need to build an ecosystem that truly reflects you, aligns with your values, and connects naturally to your audience's needs. So for me, whether it's helping them save, travel, heal, automate, or transform, every single offer that I share leads into the next. That's how you stop burning out and you start building freedom. And this is how you let your income work for you and not the other way around. So that mom boss reality, I am not a superwoman by any, I trust me, we, have bad days, just like everybody else. I'm just strategic. And I think because of the challenges that I faced and the difficulties, and because I've been doing it alone and it gets lonely and scary and overwhelming, I've just realized that it had to be on my terms. It had to be, there was no compromise. So I had to get really strategic with every decision that I make. I don't do 5 a.m. wake ups. Trust me, I'm not a morning person. I do not work 10-hour days. I build around my life. some of my biggest successes happen in the chaos of just real mum life. I've created content parked up waiting for the kids to come out of school. In fact, a lot of my content is created waiting for the kids to come out of school whilst waiting in the car. This journey isn't polished, but it's my journey and it's powerful. And now I'm on a mission to help other moms, to help other VAs who relate to this and who want to find their freedom too. The mindset shift, that's key in all of this. And you will hear in different masterclasses, and different coaches and different people will always bring it back to mindset. And there is a reason for that, because mindset is everything. And it's time to start realizing you are not just a VA, you are a digital powerhouse. So stop playing the supporting role in everyone else's business. I realized that I was helping everybody but myself. You are the brand. Being a VA gave me tools, gave me skills, gave me experience. Being a CEO gives me freedom. You don't need permission. You just need to decide enough is enough. I'm done with burnout, and there is a better way. And kind of closing statement here, and again, you'll probably hear this a lot, start messy, start now, start before you're ready. Business is scary. Whatever business you plug into, you're always going to feel like, I don't know enough. This is new. How do I find potential customers? How do I learn? But you just start and you learn as you go. You've seen there, I'm plugged into multiple businesses. I'm not an expert in every single business. There are people plugged into those businesses that have been doing it longer and know a lot more than me. But does that discourage me? No, because I'm me and there's no other me. And people do business with people, and there are people that will want to do business with me because of my journey. So if this has spoken to you, it's because deep down you already know you are meant for more. Your time is sacred and your story holds power. You deserve to build an income that supports your life, not runs it. And I have gone from burnt out, literally, to building an ecosystem of freedom income. And now I'm here to help other VAs and moms do the same. Because freedom isn't just possible, it is yours to claim. And I just want to sort of close out by saying, freedom isn't found in doing more. And I think that's what we get hung up on as VAs. We think we've got to do more. We've got to have more clients. We've got to offer more services. We've got to up our rates. It's found in doing what matters most with intention and belief that you deserve it. And I just want to say thank you so much for your time. And for those that are going to listen back to this and replay, I hope my presentation has reminded you that your next chapter can look however you want it to. And here's to building freedom one choice at a time. I have created a handout which Lisa has. So anybody that does plug into this masterclass and does watch it back, please ask Lisa for the handout I've put together. It's just a couple of pages, but it gives you some really useful information. So yeah, that's also there for Lisa to pass on to anybody who wants it.
Wow, Leanne, that was brilliant. You can stop sharing if you like, and we'll have a chat. That
Let's.
was super inspirational. I must admit, it's got me thinking anyway.
Well, that's it. And I think that's what a masterclass is all about, isn't it? It's about somebody sharing their journey, kind of their strategy, their experience, but leaving you with food for thought, because it's not about me, this is about you. And everybody's journey is different. But even if this just invokes, some food for thought, and people go, actually, let's look outside of the box. I can't tell you how many virtual assistants I speak to daily, Lisa, that are always, can't find clients. I'm struggling to get clients. How did you do it? How did you build this successful business? This is the reality, isn't it? The VA space is so busy now. When I started 6 years ago, almost, it was it wasn't a busy space. In fact, I had to keep telling people what a VA was for about 18 months constantly, banging the drum. This is what a VA is, outsource. um, and I think the reality is we've had such a trend of this being a great opportunity. It's an incredible opportunity for people to have their own flexible home-based business, and to work on their terms. But the reality is you are exchanging yourself for an hourly rate. You are selling your soul for this client to use you at their disposal for whatever they need. And you know, there's good clients and bad clients. If you get yourself some good clients, if you're anything like me, you want to go to the ends of the earth for them. I wanted to bend over backwards for my clients. I could never do enough for them because I was so grateful that they entrusted me and let me be part of their business. But you can quickly see how that becomes a trap. And when it's hard to keep the balance, it really is. And I think, as I mentioned, what we're finding now is, AI is fast developing, fast. This Sintra AI thing popped up on my news feed, and I thought, oh, interested, gotta have a look. Had a look, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. You can have like 5 employees, well, say employees, AI employees, programmed bots, but that will literally plug into various aspects of your business and do it for you. But there are so many business owners out there that don't understand AI, that don't know how to use AI, and if anything, AI scares them.
Mm.
So I don't think that it's going to be a transition, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
going to be a transition. But if you are a VA that wants to keep your risk, low, you've either got to get ahead of AI and figure out how to plug into it and get it to do your job better,
Yeah,
so you could do more, or you've got to think long game, and you've got to think times are changing. There is a lot of different tools that can do a lot of what I do or a lot of the services that I offer now. So actually, let's diversify
yeah,
and let's look at, not having all my eggs in one basket, because it's, I at one point, had 10 clients, started to take on associates because I couldn't do it all by myself. But you've always got those like couple of, big chunky clients, haven't you?
yeah,
And I can remember we'd sort of broke up for Christmas. We'd come back in the January, and my two biggest clients, one, unfortunately, went into administration. They decided to pull the plug. They were just, I had a feeling because invoices were, taking a while, and I had a feeling there were some issues. But yeah, they pulled the plug and went into administration. And the other one said, oh, it's January. We're reviewing all of our costs. We're reviewing everything. Thank you for an incredible job that you've done, but we're going to bring it back in house.
yeah,
And I was like, my business halved overnight
yeah,
from losing two clients. And that's the thing, isn't it? You see a big chunky client, you think, yes, I want that. But there's a lot of risk associated with that because all your eggs are in that basket.
yeah.
So, you know, I just felt like I was taking one step forward, two steps back. I was, constantly stressed and anxious about where's the next client? How do I raise the ceiling? How do I get more capacity? Um, and throw in some other life challenges, and I was close to breakdown, let's be honest.
But I think you're right, like, having your risk spread out so
Yeah,
you're not just relying on clients because it's so fickle. People
yeah,
leave as quickly as they sign up. You're just in this constant yo-yo mode. So I think you to
yeah.
have these other income streams that can kind of prop you up is so worthwhile. And actually, you did tell me something on the podcast. So it's not just about the money, is it? Aren't they or one of them a willable asset?
So two of the businesses, so UW and my travel business, are both willable assets, and that was huge for me. For the purpose of the people listening to this masterclass who didn't listen to the podcast, my children actually lost their father 2 years ago in a very tragic motorbike accident. Um, he had nothing he didn't leave them anything. He didn't own a property. He didn't have any savings. He didn't have anything to leave them. So unfortunately, and then I started to think, but my business is based on me. And if anything happens to me, as soon as I step out of my business, will those clients go find somebody else? There is nothing secure here. Yeah, okay. I'm very lucky that I was able to buy my house, and this is an investment for my children's future. But apart from that, I'd got my business, and the reality was I was the key person. God forbid anything happens to me, if I get poorly or if something happens to me, that money's gone overnight. So that was a huge, huge turning point for me, was thinking I need to be building something that is willable and transferable and recurring to my children. So I'm building a legacy. I'm building legacy income now. I'm building income that when I'm old and, not working anymore, or, when I'm not here anymore, my children will get paid over and over again for the work that I did when I was here.
That's amazing.
And that to me was the light bulb, explosion. It was
Yeah,
like bigger than a light bulb moment. It was like, I'm a single mom, and yeah, okay, I'm working and I'm paying the bills, and I'm giving them a good life. But what am I doing this for? As soon as I stop, it stops,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. So yeah, that's both UW and the travel business are willable incomes. So, my goal is to do the work now, plant the seeds, build the foundation, and keep getting paid over and over again. And in, years to come, when I go, actually, I want to retire early, I don't want to work anymore, my children and I can enjoy it. And when I'm gone, they can continue to enjoy it.
yeah. That's amazing. That's fantastic. And so, if anybody that watches this replay wants to, speak to you about joining Utility Warehouse or the VA Runway or but what is it?
I know. I trip over that all the time. I love it because it's like boss
Uh,
bitch bots. Like it's
yeah,
a bit of me. But I tell you what, I don't half get it wrong half the times I say it, because you just, yeah, too many
yeah.
B's and S's and
Yeah. How would they go about like getting started with any of that?
well, as I said, I've created a handout which hopefully is helpful and useful, and gives some pointers to people. It kind of reiterates some of the things I said, but I have put all of my contact details on there, and even to the point on the handout I've mentioned, as far as the digital product goes, that's something that you do have to create and build yourself, because you've kind of got to know what value you think you can give away, and how you can turn that into something that people want and will need. But equally, if people are plugged into this masterclass and they've got that handout, I have said on there, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help people, whether it's getting started with the businesses that I've mentioned, whether it's identifying if another business is a good fit for them. I am truly passionate about helping and sharing any knowledge or any experience that I've had, or been faced with. So yeah, what I would say, if you watch the masterclass, ask Lisa for the handout. The handout
I'll
has got
make sure to get it.
everything,
Yeah.
everything on there. Uh, and genuine, it's mom boss moves. Feel free to me a message at any time. I truly believe that we can all help each other, and there's room for us all. So
Yeah, fantastic. I'll make sure because the members have got a resource area with all the masterclasses. So I'll
yes,
make sure the
stick it there.
handout is in there. So I've had a
Yeah.
look at that. It's really good. And yeah, I think this is just so valuable. And I'm going to end the recording, but I want to still speak to you.
Okay.
So because I think this is something I need to be looking
Okay.
at. But Leanne, that is absolutely fantastic, and I appreciate so much the handout because people can come and ask questions. But I think this has been so inspirational and is really going to help VAs think differently about
That's it.
why they are
Yeah,
running businesses. Yeah. So
that's it.
thank you so much, Leanne.
No, thank you very much. Thank you.